Ronald Reagan, seen here on a visit to post-war Britain, led two different lives. The first was as a B-movie actor, the kind who always lost the girl to Errol Flynn. The second was as a derided local politician who startled everyone by becoming President of the United States. He's remembered as an immovably right-wing politician, but in those early years, he was a Hollywood liberal.
I will be frank with you that as a citizen, I would hesitate, or I would not like to see any political party outlawed on the basis of its political ideology, because we've spent 170 years in this country on the basis that democracy is strong enough to stand up and fight for itself against the inroads of any ideology, no matter how much we may disagree with it. But at the same time, I never, as a citizen, want to see our country become so, or become urged by either fear or resentment of this group that we ever compromise with any of our democratic principles through that fear or resentment.
Well, we agree with that,
I still think that democracy can do it.
We agree with that. We agree with that. Thank you very much.
By the mid-1950s, Reagan had changed his politics, nudged by the woman who became his second wife, Nancy Davis. Then in 1966, he erased all memories of a lusterless movie career by being elected governor of California. 14 years later, after failing in two earlier attempts, he made it to the White House, promising citizens that he would make America's streets safe again.
Violent crime has surged 10%, making neighborhood streets unsafe and families fearful in their homes.
But as it turned out, it was President Reagan who was unsafe. He'd been in office less than a year, and his popularity was high. The public had warmed to an amiable father figure who seemed no smarter than they were. But suddenly, as he made his way to the presidential car, he was shot by a deranged student. Fortunately, he was only slightly wounded. Ronald Reagan had alarmed many Western leaders who were seeking to ease tensions with the communist bloc by calling Soviet Russia the evil empire. And when he revealed that America was planning to fill outer space with ominous hardware in a nuclear defense strategy called Star Wars, the tensions rose. The president had some explaining to do.
What if free people could live secure in the knowledge that their security did not rest upon the threat of instant U.S. retaliation to deter a Soviet attack, that we could intercept and destroy strategic ballistic missiles before they reached our own soil or that of our allies? I am directing a comprehensive and intensive effort to define a long-term research and development program to begin to achieve our ultimate goal of eliminating the threat posed by strategic nuclear missiles.
You ain't seen nothing.
Returned as president with a record majority, Reagan looked as though he'd coast through his final term with a smile and a cozy soundbite.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
But then the Arms for Iran scandal blew up in his face.
I've just been trying to answer all your questions as well as I can, and I don't feel that I have anything to defend about at all. With the circumstances the way they were, the decision I made, I still believe, was the correct decision, and I believe that we achieved some portion of our goals.
4 times he denied that arms had been sent to Iran through a third country, meaning Israel.
We did not condone and do not condone the shipment of arms from other countries.
After 35 minutes, he turned and left, having undoubtedly won some public sympathy. But in an extraordinary move, the White House immediately put out a statement to the effect that what the president had just said was not true, and there was a third country involved in our secret project with Iran.
Then his old enemy came to the rescue. Soviet Premier Gorbachev joined Reagan in their historic agreement to shed nuclear weapons. Whatever his flaws, the president would be remembered for this. Or would it be for his habit of forgetting who exactly his guests were?
We have been able to have this affair with Princess Diane.